Hello, this is a short overview of Blackboard Collaborate. We're going to go over the interface and the four most common presentation types that you would use. First, we're going to start up here in the corner with the audio and video window. All of these windows on the left are undockable, so you can move them out. You can resize if you need to. Let me toss this back up here. The talk button right here, you would press this for your video or for your audio, to be heard, your microphone. When you turn it off, you're muted. And this button right here, the video button, would bring up your webcam. You can have up to 6 webcams simultaneously, and you can have up to 10 people talking simultaneously. Down here is the participants window. This is where all the participants who join your meeting will be, and they have various ways to interact. They can use emoticons. They have this away button to let people know that they're away from the meeting. They have a hand raise that lets the moderator know that with an audible tone that somebody has a question, they can stop and address that question. You can also poll your attendees. Now you can ask them a question just via your microphone, via the chat, or via the presentation over here. So they can either respond in the chat via audio, or they can use this yes/no drop down right here. The chat window, you can chat to the whole room at one time, or you can click on an attendee and chat directly with them. At the end of the meeting, you can then save the chat file as a text file. Okay, moving on to the presentation area. What you're looking at here is literally a whiteboard. You can do anything on this whiteboard. You can also create multiple new pages. You can delete pages if you'd like. And there are various pointers. You can point and then talk, and then point again and talk. You can change it to a pen. You can have various widths and colors that you can use. You also have a text box that you can type in. You have filled in rectangles or squares and filled in ovals or circles. And you also have open squares and circles. You also can create lines. You can take a snapshot of the whole whiteboard. And you can also place clip art into the whiteboard if you'd like. Now, let me move on to PowerPoints. If you have a PowerPoint, which I'm sure a lot of you will, you load that up here with the Load Content button. And I've already loaded one up. So up here is your navigation. The left arrow goes backward, the right arrow goes forward. You can also use the drop-down menu and select certain slides if you'd like. Moving on to the application sharing. In order to share an application, actually let me go back. Let me go back to the PowerPoint here and the Load Content button. You have 10 minutes before your meeting starts to load your content. So let's say a meeting starts at 4 o'clock. You have, at 3:50, you can get into your meeting. And at that point, you have to load your content. Now, you can start late if you want to. It's not like it has to be done by 4 o'clock. But you can start at 10 minutes before your meeting actually starts loading content. And if you have multiple PowerPoints, that's fine. Just load them in order. There is another piece of software called Illuminate Plan, and you can basically set up all your PowerPoints and then create this one plan file that you can load. You load that one plan file, and it pulls those PowerPoints in order off of your hard drive or your flash drive or whatever you have them on, and loads them into Blackboard Collaborate rather than doing it individually. Okay, let's move on to application sharing. Application sharing, you have to have your file open before Blackboard Collaborate will see it able to share. So if it's a Word document or Excel, you have to have it open first in order for Blackboard Collaborate to recognize it. So I'm going to go ahead and let's see, I'm going to open this PDF file here. And everybody will be able to see this. Let me see if it shows up. There it is. Share. And we are now sharing this. So they would be able to see me do anything. If this was an editable file, they would see me being able to edit it. But I'm going to close out of this right now and go to the web tour. And the web tour is literally that. You click on the web tour button, you put in your URL, and we'll go to YouTube. And what this does is it takes everybody who's in the session, it opens their browser and takes them to the web page, which is pretty snazzy. They'll be able to see any sort of pictures, any video, any audio that you have running on your computer. Well, it'll actually be running on theirs too, technically. All you're doing is sending them to a certain web page. And let's see, let's pick this one right here.
Before designing the iPhone 5, we studied how customers
so you can
use
see
their iPhones.
it works great. Okay, up here I want to show you one more thing. This Tools drop-down menu, this is kind of the backbone of Blackboard Collaborate. So this is where you would change your webcam settings or your audio, your microphone settings. You can also join the meeting via teleconference if it's set up with a number to call. We have some conference lines here on campus, but they have a very restricted use. So that's something that would have to be worked out in your division. I'm not sure how that would go, but it's possible. So thanks. This has been a short overview of Blackboard Collaborate.